my sales abilities or my success I had in sales took off when I stopped playing this game where
I truly believe in sales specifically that authenticity is the common fabric that makes good salespeople, that you're the same person with the same values, ethos, etc. in business as you are in your personal life, right?
yeah.
And if that's not the case, that should be your North Star, right? It's like how do I make it, how do I maintain or create linearity between who I am in and out of the office? And I think that's where the magic really happens. And yeah, so
So a couple things there. One, authenticity, 100%. I've said this before. My sales abilities or my success I had in sales took off when I stopped playing this game where it's like there's my personal life and then there's my social life. Like I'm gonna put my professional hat on and use bigger words. And then, you know what I mean?
yeah,
And then when I started to just blend it, and it helped when I was working with residents, so doctors training to be surgeons. And they're in this place where they're highly knowledgeable. They are doctors.
yeah,
They can see patients. Patients value them, but they're not surgeons yet. And they're just kind of looking up at their attendings, trying to learn from them. And blending with them helped. But what I wanted to say, I've never had this discussion before, and I've always felt so strongly about all these influencers, or when you're watching these motivational videos and everyone's saying to you the company you keep or the people around you, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're not going to get better. Like there's value in that. If you're hanging around a bunch of
show me your
idiots,
friends, I'll show you
potheads.
your future.
Correct.
Yeah.
But how many people do you know that take that to its extreme? They chase richer people or people with a whole bunch of followers or clout, and they want to be around them. And like, what are you? What are you as you're doing that? You're
Mhm.
just chasing because you feel inadequate. Like there's so many negative things that happen when you're constantly trying to be around something. And a lot of people chase success and they equate that to money. Just
Yeah,
because someone's rich doesn't mean they're a good person or they're going to teach you good things.
right.
A lot of people have found success in a lot of different ways, and that doesn't mean you need to be around them. Now, who's saying this? Someone who's not a billionaire, right? So maybe that's why I'm not a billionaire, right? And you're also speaking to someone who is trying to be a mentor to younger
You
people,
do all right. You're
right?
not a billionaire, but you do all right.
I do okay. I want to do better. I'm inadequate. No, but the reality is I love that. It's 100% because I want to enjoy the people that I'm around. I want to be relatable. I
Sure.
certainly have people in my life that have done better than me in a lot of ways. And it's not just financial.
Mm.
It could be relationships. It could be exploring the world. It could be spiritual, all these different things. And then, like you said, there's tons of value in helping the people behind you or
Mhm.
younger than you who are trying to make it. Because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the people who stopped and had the extra conversation with me
Pass it on.
and pass it on.
Yeah.
That I think it's absolutely necessary for someone to have a mentor type person, if not multiple mentors in different aspects of their life, so that they can aspire or have someone saying, hey, don't do pointing out your blind spots. You don't realize this yet, but you're going to recognize this yet. You don't realize this about yourself. Your parents taught you this, and that's great, but I want you to look at it this way. You
Mhm.
grew up in this city, but in the greater scheme of things, this is, you know what I mean? They're exposing you to more.
Mhm.
And being able to do that to others, just like you said, makes you better. Like the
100%.
baseball player who's a great hitter but can't explain it, right? Like
Right.
there's value in taking the time to try and explain it, and then you learn a little bit more.
Train the trainer. If
Hmm.
you're able to train the trainer, I think you've mastered something,
Mm.
simply put. But interesting point you made, I think boiled down, the common denominator is how do you define success and how do you find people within those three tiers of ahead, equals, and people you want to give back to, identifying that they more or less had the same definition of success. At surface level, we all get into sales because we are money motivated at the surface.
Yeah.
But if you peel back a couple layers, right, you'll understand that there's different motives,
Yeah.
right? And they always say follow the money. You can tell a lot about someone or an organization as a whole, what their values are based on
Yes.
where that money goes. So these are, I mean, this translate. I love, again, I love I truly
Yep.
believe that their sales and the attributes it takes to be successful in sales, which I'm still constantly refining, far from arrived or made it. But in my short career in sales, I think they're one and the same. And if
Yeah.
you, and if you view them as mutually independent, you're doing yourself a disservice.
Thanks for watching. I hope that gave you some real insight. And if you're serious about getting into medical sales or someone you know, send them to me, medsalesblueprint.com. I have tons of resources, tons of content that help people on their way to get into medical sales fast. Phenomenal industry, you know it. People need help getting in, and that's what I'm here for.